Hello, this is my second week observing a young 4-year-old child. A little background about him. He was recently diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. When the doctor diagnosed him on a scale from 10, most severe, to 1, mild, they placed him at a 6. He does have some speech delays and is currently receiving speech therapy. He is also receiving occupational therapy due to weak muscle tone. I went to his house where I observed him in his natural habitat. One of the things that I immediately picked up on was the lack of face-to-face time he had with all of us in the house. Whether it was his parents or his younger brother or myself, very little face-to-face time was happening. And what came to mind was recently I read a research article that talked about some of the possibilities why a lot of children with autism have some speech delays is due to the fact that face-to-face contact, that making connections of people's facial expressions is not there. And so the hypothesis of this research was really looking at the possibilities that if face-to-face contact wasn't reintroduced, then some of those speech delays could be minimized. So when I arrived, he greeted me immediately because he does know me. And then he began to proceed telling me that August 28th, and to not forget August 28th. I knew it was his birthday, but he just wanted me to remember that. After a few minutes of going on and on about that date, he did tell me that it was a very special day and I needed to remember that it was his birthday. He went off to play with some Legos that were already on the floor with his younger brother. One of the things that I observed when he initially went to play, and that goes for any other transition times, was it was almost like there was an assessment of the situation. So he looked at the Legos, he began placing them in order, and it appeared that it was like from largest to smallest. And there was like a lining up. Eventually he did use all the pieces that he had in front of him. He was able to add on to a truck that was already pretty much built. And then he was really excited to show me what he had made. His parents have used one of the bedrooms as they've turned it into a kindergarten classroom. They have whiteboards, they have chairs, they have calendars, and they really have been working with him on catching him up to speed so that he's prepared when he does enter kindergarten. So he wanted to draw me a picture on the whiteboard, and I told him to draw me whatever he wanted. And the first thing he did was he picked up a marker and he smelt it. And then he picked up another marker and he smelt that one too. What came to mind was this week we talked about the senses, right? How people with autism, sometimes their senses are really heightened. And so in that moment I was wondering, does it smell good? Is he looking for the one that smells the best so that he can use that one? Not sure what he was thinking, but I definitely saw that he was using his sense of smell for that particular incident. So he proceeded to draw. He drew people, he drew trolls, he drew trains. There were some magnets that were connected to the whiteboard, and these were supply magnets. So you had scissors, you had erasers, There were also some shapes, and he began lining them up again, like I had seen previously with the Legos. His younger brother was just placing them on the whiteboard, and he was strategically placing them according to size. He noticed that he was missing the pencil magnet, and so he asked Mom where it was. They began looking for it, and I started noticing like there was an increase of uncomfortability. Excuse me, uncomfortability, almost like there was about to be an outbreak of some kind of cry. And so Mom reassured him that they were going to find the pencil magnet. She even got Dad involved. Everybody was looking for the pencil magnet. He was looking himself. But after a few minutes, they just couldn't find it. And so Mom got at his eye level and said, "We are going to find it, but we're not going to find it right here." He looked a little anxious, but I can tell that he was able to calm himself down and then move on. I think Mom said, "Hey, why don't you show Jasmina what you can draw, that you can write your name." So Dad gave him a marker, a pencil. He still has some magnets in his hand and some paper on the table. And again, just like the other observation moments I had seen, he lined up the items from biggest to smallest. So he had the crayon, the marker, the magnets, and then the paper. He wrote his name a few times, even used a capital letter. He was praised. He was happy. And then it was snack time. Mom did express to me that he's very finicky and that they are up to 10 items of things that he will eat and enjoy. But he got to pick his snack, and he ate 2 yogurts. And he politely asked me to open it up. Mom said that the finicky comes from the way it looks, the color, and the smell. She says that those 3 things are what really dictates what he eats and chooses to try. So definitely the smell comes in, and the visual part of it, the presentation and the color. And she said for the color, it's either greens or reds, which it's kind of scary since there are a lot of things that are greens and reds. But there's also other colors too. But he seemed like a very happy child, enjoying his day. Mom announced shortly after that they were going to be watching a movie and that they needed to help clean up around the house, clean up for their toys, and he gladly did it without hesitation. So it was nice to see that he was transitioning quite well with the activities that were taking place. And shortly after, that was the end of my observation with him.